Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. So nice to have you guys joining us this morning. Morning where I am anyway. Thank you so much for that. Lovely, lovely. More people are chiming in, so this is great. Nice to see some familiar faces and lots of new names on the list. I'm Phoenix Rising Star, and we'll get started in about a minute or so. Thank you so much, you guys. And oh, good. Thank you, Mighty, for putting something in the chat already. Feel free to put something in the chat. Tell us where you're from. That's always fun. I love hearing where everybody's from. Great. Oh, it's so nice. So many more people are coming in. Thank you for being here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We are getting ready to manifest a wonderful 2023. I had to stop and think for a minute. Where are we? What year is this? Great. So many people are chiming in. This is wonderful. Nice to see same faces and new names. It's a wonderful combination. Yay. And those who have been on before probably have figured it out that many times people don't turn on their videos for whatever reason. I appreciate that. But if you choose to share later on when we're complete with our meditation today, feel free to turn on your video at that time so we can see your smiling face. And if you choose to share or ask a question, we have the chat, which is always perfect. I will stop from time to time to take a look at that. And you can also raise your hand or unmute and simply ask a question or share when it's time for that. So thank you all for being here. My name is Phoenix Rising Star, and this is our Angel Healing Circle that I offer once a month through the Healing Angel Protocol and also through the Hollow Bone of Healing. And this is where we take some of the meditations of the Hollow Bone of Healing and apply them to the topic of choice for the month. At the beginning of the year, I sit down with the angels and I ask them, what topics would you like to cover this year? And this was their suggestion for December, which is, of course, perfect. I haven't yet had a chance to sit down with them to cover 2023 to find out what our next topics are going to be. But I should be doing that probably in the next week. And as soon as I have those topics, you'll find them on the calendar of events in healingangelprotocol.com on that website. So if you want to look ahead and plan ahead, that'd be great. They're always offered on either the second or third Saturday of the month at this time, no matter where you are in the world. All right. And those of you that register, as you probably know, you will receive a recording. So even if you can't be here live, you can still register and receive the recording for that. Sometimes I repurpose the recording and they are available to help others in multiple ways. And so just know that if you decide to share today, either in the chat or verbally, that your sharing may be heard by others outside of our live group today. So just as long as you're aware of that, then you can choose whether or not that works for you. If you would like to share, but you're not willing to share out loud in a group, I totally get that. And you can feel free to send me an email at support@phoenixrstar.com. I'll put that in our follow-up email also when you have the recording link as well, so that because sometimes things come up and you don't know what it means, or maybe you have a question about how it appeared to you, or maybe this is all new to you. And so if that's the case and you just want to reach out to me personally, I am available for you because of that. So support@phoenixrstar.com. So great to see so many of you. This is wonderful, and from all over the world. Isn't that just exciting? Great. Okay, well, let's get started. This is the topic for today is angelic advice for 2023. Now, some of you may be really tapped into what you are choosing to manifest or create for 2023. I mean, you may know that you'd like better health or better finances or a better job or something like that. And so that's great. I just want you to know that when we ask for the highest and best helpers, which we are doing today, sometimes because they have that bigger picture understanding, they will come in with something entirely different for you. And it's not that they're dismissing you. They're not dismissing you. They're looking at this and saying, yes, but you're wanting better finances. But look, the problem is really, this, that, the other thing. Could be maybe it's your relationships we really need to work on, because it's your relationship with your boss, it's your relationship with yourself, it's, understanding what are your needs within your financial world and things like that. So they will take you, your highest and best helpers will take you where you need to go for information, for healing, for your next step. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to get all three of those in one session today, but you will probably get one of those at least. And that's why I love to have a recording, so that you can come back, listen to it again, and then get the next step, or get the next piece of information, or receive the clearing once you have more understanding. So know that we're always starting from that place of unconditional love, because this is how everything works. And this is how we access higher realms of consciousness, through that power of love. This is how we pull in those highest level guides and helpers to us. It's a wave of love that we're creating within ourselves, and it attracts love, that highest level of love. And when we ask for those highest and best helpers, that's all that can come in. That's a universal law, according to the angels. When you ask for that, that's all that can come in. So that way we're not getting distracted by other helpers that maybe aren't for our highest and best. And we're getting really pure stuff, information, insights, awareness, healing in whatever way we need, and whatever comes in for our highest and best. So I just want to say that to you to kind of reassure you if this is new to you. Also, let's see, wait, I kind of lost that thought as I got a little distracted myself. Okay, so starting from a place of love, we're asking for the highest and best. We're asking for our highest and best from the highest and best, which is all that they could give us anyway. Oh, here's what my point was. Okay, so you want to open up all of your senses to receive the information in the way that it comes to you. So, we live in a very highly visual society, and it's easy to assume we're going to see the glory and the magnificence of our helpers, but maybe not. It's taken me a long time to be able to see through my inner eyesight. I'm very auditory, and I have conversations with them all the time, but maybe you won't, right? There's a lot of people that know without knowing how you know. And that's a really valid way. It's just harder to prove and harder to trust. So allow this experience with your helpers to be appearing to you in the way that works best for you. They come in on your senses that are your strongest, right? The other senses will get stronger eventually, but they're trying to work with you in the easiest way possible. So let's make it easy for them to work with us, and be really aware of how do you perceive energy. And that's how they will come to you, right? Now, one of the biggest ways you're going to know that you have a helper is because we are starting from that wave of love. They're coming in on a wave of love. And you're going to feel it. You're going to sense it. You're going to know it. Some of you may see it as a color. Others may hear it as a vibration or a tone or a frequency. This wave of loving energy is actually a communication without words. And it comes directly into your heart. And that's how you know this is real. So we're starting from a place of love. We're attracting that love. And that helps us to establish a relationship, a connection with our helpers that we can trust. And when all of our senses are wide open, then we're not going to miss a message. We're not going to mistake a message. We're getting exactly what we need, whether or not it makes sense to us. Now, sometimes I get really crazy messages, and it's like, you have to go get your oil changed this week. It's like, okay, all right, I'll just do that. And if it doesn't make sense, that it doesn't really matter. If it's coming in, it's important. And I may, as I follow up on that, find that, oh, look, there's actually a little bit of a problem here that can be corrected now before it gets into be a big problem. So let's take care of it now. No problem. Oh, look, you forgot your inspection sticker. Let's take care of that now. Oh, yeah, good idea. Good idea. So you never know exactly when you get a strange message like that. You never know exactly what it's about until you follow it up. So don't hesitate to follow it up, even if it makes no sense. Remember, you're asking for your highest and best. That's what's coming through, even when it's not what you expect. Sometimes we get in our own way because we think, oh, no, this is the kind of message I want. I don't want that one. I want this one. Why aren't you giving me this one? Right? Because we all get impatient. But it's kind of like, okay, step aside. You've asked for help. So you're getting the help. So don't argue with it. And I'm a real famous one for arguing with my angels. I have argued a lot with my angels. What? You want me to do what? There's no way I can do that. But they're so loving and persistent and kind. And I've always, when I follow it, have never regretted it. It's always been for my highest and best. I've never looked back. So you can argue, but they still love you and they'll still work with you. You can even fire them and they'll still love you and work with you. Because I have lots of clients that have fired their angels. They get mad at their angels. You're not bringing me what I want. Well, what we want and what might be for our highest and best, maybe two different things. So ask for your highest and best. You will always get it. You may not recognize it when it comes, but take a second look, follow it up, see what happens. Okay, now one of the other things I feel compelled to mention today is that many times when we are getting ready for something new, even if it's tiny, there may be something in the way. Maybe it's a thought process. Oh, maybe I can't do that. Or maybe I'm not good enough to do that. Or how could I possibly do that? So it can be that kind of thought that just comes out of the blue. Or it could be a feeling, more of a feeling of fear of, oh my gosh, doing that? You want me to do that? Or it could be something entirely different. So if something like that is in the way, just expect that healing is available to you. And if it's for your highest and best to receive it today, you will. But maybe not today, maybe when listening to the recording, or maybe experiencing something else a month from now, and that's the best time for the healing, right? So somewhere in your process of creation, there's going to be some healing happening. May or may not be today, but know that with healing with the angels and our highest level helpers, you don't have to relive anything to let it go. Just be willing to let it go. Because, when you're done with it, you don't have to hang on to it. And we know we're done with it when we can find that hidden blessing in it and then say, okay, I get it. Yeah, that was really a good thing that happened because of this. And then when you've got no charge on it, that's when you can let it go, right? But you don't have to relive that pain and trauma and sorrow and all that other stuff. That's just an angelic rule, and we really like that. All right. Well, I think I've given you a lot of information here, but this is I need to do that for those of you that are new to this. So with that, we are going to get started. And for our meditation purposes, I like to turn my video off because I talk with my hands and I don't want to distract you. Even when my eyes are closed, my hands are moving around. And usually my eyes are closed throughout most of this, so there's really nothing to see except my hands moving around. You might also want to turn off your videos just because if anybody else is like with eyes open, they may be distracted as well. Or you could put your video on the ceiling or something so there's really nothing to look at, right? And then when we're close to being done, when the angels say, okay, that's enough time, I'll be calling you back, but letting you know that if you still want to stay in that beautiful state of energy that you're in, or you're not quite done with your angels and guides today, that would be a good time to leave the meeting, because we're going to be doing some talking and sharing. And with those that choose to talk and share, many times saying it out loud makes it more real, and it makes it more believable. And it may answer any questions that you have or somebody else might have about their experience. So sharing is really invaluable for everybody. But if you don't want to, because you're in a really good place and you don't want to be taken out of that, then just leave the meeting and we'll go on with our sharing. All right. Thank you again, everybody, for being here. It's just a joy to have you. I'm so excited to see you and hear your voices when you, if you decide to share, or to see you in the chat, if you decide to share that way. And if you decide not to share, it's fine. You can just listen to other people sharing. That's good too. All right. So I'm going to turn off my video and we're going to get started. So find a place where you can get really comfortable, maybe sitting or lying down even. And you know what? If you go to sleep during this, it's really okay, because many times the sleep indicates that you're receiving something really deep. And it may be healing, or it may be deep insights. And that sleep, it's more like a twilight sleep. It allows your brain to kind of step aside so that your heart can be receiving what it needs to receive. So don't worry if you fall asleep. That's why we have a recording. You can listen to it later, but allow yourself to receive whatever is right for you. Good. And we're going to begin to get ourselves into that beautiful place of unconditional love. And we're going to start by thinking of a beautiful place in nature where you've been before. Now, you may have been to lots of beautiful places in nature, because that beauty is just the signature of nature, right? But allow your heart to choose the right place for you today. And just kind of get that centered in your mind, your heart, and your mind's eye, where you can begin to observe all the rich details that make you love this place so much. And maybe it's just your favorite childhood tree or backyard or place where you love to hang out now as an adult. Maybe it's a place you visited on vacation and it's just stayed with you ever since because of its beauty or its sacredness or its reverence. Maybe it's a place that has man-made like buildings in it, like pyramids or temples or things like that. Or maybe it's just pure raw nature, like being in the middle of the jungle, that was attracting you. And everybody has a unique idea of what's beautiful. So many people find beauty in the desert, but other people look at that and are repulsed by that. Many people find beauty in the snow, and others are like, oh my gosh, I could never do that. Some people love the water, and others are like, oh, I only prefer lakes. I don't want the ocean, or vice versa. Some people like trees or forests, and other people would like to have a green field. So your heart has chosen the perfect place for you today to connect to nature, to connect to your higher power or source energy. Connect to that higher place within you that always is there. And the way to really connect is through the beauty, appreciating the beauty that nature has to offer. So let's begin by observing the colors that you might be seeing in your place in nature. Now, green is a very prevalent color. And even in the winter time, you can see green because green is nature's healing color. It's the color of rebirth and renewal and regeneration. And just notice where you might observe green in your mind's eye. Also, the color blue is very prevalent in nature, whether you're seeing it in the sky or water or flowers or something entirely different. Blue is the color of peace and serenity and the angels. So just bring those colors into your heart and allow it to open your heart just a little bit, along with all the other beautiful colors associated with your place in nature. And you might also open up your inner ears and notice the unique sounds to your place in nature. Like maybe it's the sound of wind or water, or animals, or birds, the flapping of wings as a bird flies over your head. Or maybe it's that hush of profound silence that draws you there. And feeling the temperature of the day on your skin as you are in that beautiful place in nature. And allowing all these sensory experiences to open your heart a little further. Maybe you're sensing or knowing the presence of the ancestors in that place. Maybe it was a sacred spot, or maybe they just like to be there. And remembering the unique smells and fragrances there. Flowers, or water, or soil, or air. All of these experiences help to open your heart a little further. And especially remembering any encounters you might have had with wild animals, whether it's like a bird or a lizard or something larger like a deer, where it was eyeball to eyeball and heart to heart. Very, very special. And allowing that to open your heart a little more. Remembering also any experiences you've had with your domestic animals that have loved you so much. That's their job, is to love us and to teach us about love. And just feeling, remembering that, sensing that, and allowing that to open your heart a little more. And if you've ever had a connection with a human that loved you unconditionally, just allow that to come to the forefront of your heart. The person that loved you no matter what, no matter how cranky you were or how upset you were. It's like, here's some more love. Here, I've got lots to share. Here's some more. Bring that into your heart if you've been lucky enough to have that. Right now, your heart is really, really filled with love. And what happens is like attracts like. So when you have that much love, more love comes in, and more comes in and comes in and comes in, filling your heart to overflowing. And when that love overflows, it moves all the way through your physical body. And it touches every cell in your body. And so every cell is now receiving a good dose of love, which is what heals and manifests. So every cell is receiving exactly what it needs. As slowly your body fills to overflowing with love. And when that love overflows, it moves into your energy field. And it begins with your physical layer, the layer closest to your body, which holds your physical experiences. And now they're being touched with love, which is what heals and manifests. As slowly this layer fills to overflowing, that love next moves into the emotional layer, where all of our emotions are held, and they're all valid, they're all good, because they teach us something. And when we're done with them, we can let them go. And every one of them that we have and are holding on to are being touched with love, which heals and manifests. As that love fills your emotional layer, it overflows into the mental layer, the place of our beliefs, those we created in this lifetime to make sense of our life, and those that came from our past lives, those that came from our ancestors. We don't even realize we're operating from these because they're so subconscious, but they're all being touched with love, which is what heals and manifests. And slowly this layer fills to overflowing, and last, that love moves into your spiritual layer, the place that holds our soul purpose throughout all lifetimes, including this one. And it holds our past life experiences, our ancestral experiences, and it ties it all into who we are and why we're here. Every part of that is being touched with love, which heals and manifests. And so right now, you are a giant sphere of love. You're right smack in the middle of it. And I invite you to just stay with that for a moment to really feel and appreciate how good that is. Because if you did nothing else but this is a great meditation. This is a great way to start your day, a great way to end your day. But we are going a little farther. As you are in this state of love, we invite in our helpers that are for our highest and best. And when they come in, we may see them or hear them or sense them in a way that indicates who they might be if you're used to working with guides and angels. So you may recognize if you're working with Archangel Michael or Angel Raphael. But it's also possible, especially with high consciousness helpers, that they come in mostly on an energetic form that you don't really recognize. And they don't have a name because they don't want to be limited by a name. But they come in on a wave of loving energy that you find palpable within yourself. You can feel it. You can sense it. You know it. And just let that love move all the way through you. This is their way of communicating with you through this wave of love. And take that in. Feel it, sense it, and know it. And when you're ready, you can send love back to them because you're answering their communication. You're continuing that communication without words. And then you'll find that that wave of loving energy just goes back and forth between your hearts in that wordless communication, helping you to sense and know and trust that the divine is here for you. Source energy is here for you. And you can believe it. So you can hold, if you have a goal that you'd really like to meet for 2023, you can hold that in your heart and allow yourself to receive either insights or healing or awareness of your next step around that. And maybe you don't have a specific goal. Maybe you just want to ask for whatever's for your highest and best and see where that takes you. And again, you're opening your senses to receive in the way that's right for you, where you may have insights or healing or your next step, or something entirely different. So I'll be really quiet while you are receiving in the ways that are right for you. Just allow this to be what it is for you. Just allowing yourself to receive with love. Taking a few more minutes for whatever's for your highest and best. And as your helper is completing your work together for now, just allow yourself to begin integrating, thinking and feeling into what you just experienced, making sense of it to the best of your ability. And if you're in a really good space and you like to stay there longer, this is a good time to leave the meeting. And for those of you that stay on, we'll be doing some sharing in a moment or two. And always we thank our helpers for being here for us, for their loving support. And we know we can connect again. As you gently begin to bring yourself back into your body, feeling the energy moving through you. And opening your eyes when you're ready. And feel free to turn on your video when you're ready. And as I mentioned before, if you are open to sharing, it's not obligated, but if you'd like to, you can put something in the chat if you prefer, or you can just unmute yourself and share with the group your experience. Oh, right. Thank you, Scotty.
Okay, let's see. I had a window show up, and then the people were changing in the window. Like they were at a desk and they were doing something, and then you'd see some hands go up.
Huh.
And then, but the faces changed. And like some of the tasks they were doing, you would see someone writing, you'd see someone going like this. Then Santa Claus came, or Claus. So I said, all right, he's making a list.
Checking it twice.
And then I had a wave of color change from like a purple to a red and a green, just flowing through. And then that settled out to be a solid color. And then I went really deep.
It sounds interesting. Besides, besides the literal understanding of Santa Claus and what was going on, was there anything else that you're thinking of behind that?
No, the only thing I can think of is you're the CEO of everything.
Mm,
So the
we
desk
all can see that.
symbolize the
Mhm,
boss.
mhm,
You're the boss.
and
And everyone's task in this experiment is just a little bit different.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I like that. But it's interesting you were seeing it through a window.
well, yeah, I don't know what that meant either, but
Kind of like the observer, you know?
yeah,
Yeah,
well, the reflection, whatever.
yeah, yeah. Wow. That,
So it's come along.
yeah, no, well, it's wonderful because I think a good experience like that brings up more questions. It makes you want to go back into it with, let's find out more type of thing. Or it can do that. It doesn't always, but yeah, thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Let's see here. Mighty has a question to ask of a weird image. Yes, please.
Yeah, it is kind of this connection because I was in my favorite place, which is a place where a river is birth, like a fountain, a beautiful turquoise, and it was like a deva angel, kind of feminine, and then I was jumping to other places from my infancy that were really nice. And suddenly I had this image of kind of a hand, but white, so white, and the fingertips were like being cut, but it wasn't a real hand. And they say, what is this? And then I just went to sleep, I think.
Interesting. Was the hand attached? Like
I only see the hand. I suppose it was attached, but I don't only saw, and it was kind of somehow I saw it as a hand, but not sure what material was because it was white, but kind of dead. I think what I mean is, yeah, I have the sense that the hand was already dead and it was a left hand. So I don't know what's happened with my life.
Oh, interesting. It's like a little crazy. So like and you said the fingertips were being cut off?
Yeah, these two. I was seeing these two, and then I said, why is this happening?
Right.
And the image went out.
Right. Interesting. So the thing that comes to my mind, and I don't know, you can see how this feels to you, but we all have meridians that end in our fingers. And the meridians are our energy systems that go through our body and are connected to different organs and emotions. So you might want to investigate. I know the heart is one, and I'm not sure what the other one is. So you might want to investigate what meridians end in those two fingers. And of course, was the thumb involved at all?
The thumb was already cut.
Oh, okay. So
now that you ask, I remember.
Yeah. Well, this is why we talk about it.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's so odd, isn't it? Well, it's just energy. I think energy is really trying to get your attention. And I would definitely start by looking at meridians and which meridians are involved in the ends of those three, the thumb and two fingers, and see if maybe that resonates with either emotions that you're having or organs or systems in your body that are maybe needing some attention. Maybe they need opening up, right? Maybe your heart might need opening up, or maybe your intestine where you hold on to things. You just, I mean, you could start going down a rabbit hole here, but that's where I would start.
Yeah, there is, when there is this kind of images that this kind of disturbing is really trying to get my attention. So I will think about it. What it comes to my mind is that since I have a fight with my daughter yesterday, I think it's also related, somehow it's like when the left hand is when I was trying maybe to hold to her, and being the fingertip is I cannot hold. I have to release and let go, really.
Oh, I think you're onto something here. Wow, that's powerful.
Yeah, it's something. Okay, we'll see. But thank you for the insight.
Yeah, well, thank you for yours. I think your integration might be spot on there. So yeah, do follow that up and let me know. Let me know.
Yeah, I will check on that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's see, Scott, you have over, yeah, right? We have a lot. We have a lot of points. Oh my goodness. Larry.
Yeah, I don't have my permission for my camera, but I'll just speak.
Okay, no problem.
And what came through was a stream of consciousness, and this is something which is being probably being pouring. It's been pouring through me, but it also came out in a stream, and it's rising as a leader and a mentor of consciousness, wealth building, global leader, being surrounded by other leaders, influencers, and mentors, wellness, creativity, right action, fun, speaking, presenting, being a role model, writing, sharing who I am, sharing my vulnerability. And joyful is joy with F-U-L-L, magnetic, powerful, big and bold, being a game changer, fearless, audacious, direct, clear messenger, activating others, outsourcing, building a team around me, following my yes, doing my part masterfully, planning, monitoring, tracking, and being the CEO.
Interesting. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. I got absolute shivers when you were reading your list. Now, you must have them all written down?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I took a moment just to allow myself just to receive, and as I was typing, and that's what happens. It's just like a stream of consciousness, and it's like I'm not visual.
Yeah.
But it's like a download that I receive.
Beautiful. Well, wow. So one thing that I've done when with words like that is I put each word on an index card, and then I create a wall with all the index cards so that it's like, and wherever, like in your office or wherever you meditate, or someplace where you're going to be looking at that a lot, because then that keeps it all with you and it keeps it present for you. I don't know if that helps, but how exciting.
Yeah, well, that's fantastic. The certainly what was coming earlier was doing a mastermind, and this would be putting it on a mastermind chart, but having something visual. And I was going to ask you about your background.
Oh yeah.
That that beautiful print.
Yeah.
But it's about having a wall with images, or perhaps, besides the words, having a perspective that would be much more than a collage, but like a 5D collage or something like that, where it's being active. It's an activation for me, a personal activation,
Yes.
other than just cards, you know, something that would be points of light or something that would be images or symbols. And maybe it's about finding symbols that relate to the words that I have here.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that idea. Boy, what an exciting year you've got coming up.
Yeah, it is. And that's what I feel.
Wow. Yay. Well, you've got to keep us posted on that. I mean, if you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yay. Thank you so much for sharing. Gosh, what I love is how everybody is so unique. You know, we all receive things differently, and what we receive is totally right on for us, even if it makes no sense, you know, but we can usually follow it down that rabbit hole and figure it out, or find a way to make it bigger so that we can work with it more. And because, like, think of this as like the beginning, right? And there's no end to where you can go with this, right? We have no limits. So maybe that's one healing we could start with, is how can I get out of my way? Oh my gosh. Who else would like to share?
Share, Phoenix.
You, Donna Marie.
I always love when Archangel Michael comes, because then I feel very safe, whatever. And I felt a very subtle, loving, gentle, almost Mother Mary, like loving energy. And I had asked for to open up all my senses for 23. And I have the sensation, because I don't really always see, like a kaleidoscope, you know, like the ones that you had as a kid that does like this, and all these changes and all these gorgeous different colors, except for I know enough now to say, okay, what does that mean? Because I don't understand what I'm seeing. And it was in my heart area where it was changing. And then it changed, the kaleidoscope changed into real flowers. Like when it turns like this, I got daisies and roses, and then it became peach roses, just gorgeous. I was like, wow. And I, like you had said, asked for your highest and best for 23. And I was asked for, what does this mean? And I just got that impression that I needed to do the Way of the Rose meditation, which is something that I hadn't done in years, in 23. And I'm like, okay, maybe that's the answer on how to open up the senses. But the flowers were really kind of cool.
How lovely. Is Karen on? Because Karen, I don't see her name here, but yeah. So Karen, she usually is on here, but she works with the flower devas, if you will, and she brings forward messages from flowers. And so I'll send you the information for her newsletter, because every week she'll send out a different flower message, and it's really loving and sweet and kind and amazing. And it sounds like it might be helpful for you. You can decide if you want to be on it or not, but yeah. The more we know, the more we dig deeper, right? How exciting. Thank you for sharing. Oh, nice. Yeah. Well, and I'll include that information for when I send out everybody's recording, the recording information. If anybody wants to connect with Karen, she has a newsletter with flower messages. So yeah. Great. Anybody else want to share? All right.
Phoenix.
Yes. Hello.
Hello. I am am I the only one who's a full-time employee on your group today?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I don't know for
Well-
sure, but just looking at the list, I doubt it.
Well, I'm your one who can't get out of her own way.
Oh, well, listen, there's a whole bunch of us, so you know what I mean?
I definitely did not want to come back from my happy place. But I mean, like, I want to be like Larry. I want those messages,
Mhm.
you know, and this is gonna freak y'all out, but I saw a rose.
Oh.
But what do I do with a rose? And I know Donna and I are very connected. But, and that's only in hindsight of listening. You know, I'm in a very happy place through all of this, but I didn't get great impressions of anything I can point to.
Mhm.
So apparently I'm stuck back there of, I must be arguing with my helpers. So several sessions back, we got to get in there and tell Erin to, you know, hush up and let the guides do their work. And here's a rose and just hush.
What color was the rose?
Red.
Okay. Do you like roses?
I love roses, but my favorite really are yellow,
Oh,
not peach.
okay. All right. But this
I
was
love you, Donna.
So this was a red rose and you saw it.
I did. It went by, and I'm like, there's a rose. It's on its way to meet Donna. They're like, you're chopped liver. We need to see Donna.
Oh, I don't think anybody from that higher level would ever call you chopped liver.
Ugh.
Okay, so
I will
then-
keep working.
Okay, so remember about that opening your senses meditation in the hollow bone of healing.
Yes.
You really want to be cognizant of what am I hearing? What am I sensing? What am I feeling? What do I know? You know, what do I smell? What do I see? And if you feel like nothing's happening, start going through that litany and just ask yourself, okay, what am I hearing anything? You know, because sometimes, like, I'll give this example. And it happens a lot with the shamanic journey too, which is just another form of guided meditation. So I had a woman in the group who was getting really mad because she wasn't getting anything. And she was furious and she was ready to leave. And she said, all I can hear is that stupid flute music. And everybody went, flute music? We don't have any flutes in here. There's no flute music. And that's what she had been hearing and assuming it was part of the group. So sometimes we miss things because we make assumptions. So just allow yourself to listen to the recording again and really just be open to everything.
Do you hear this high-pitched ringing? I hear it all the time. All the time.
I don't. Many times that's the angels trying to get your attention.
What do I do with it? I mean, I hear it all the time.
Well, just ask them what they want. What are they trying to tell you? Ask them to show it to you in a way that you can understand better.
Okay. Okay.
And don't worry, you're right where you need to be. This is how we begin.
Okay. I'm not leaving. You're just going to continue to hear me say. Sorry, y'all.
Oh, no, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine.
Okay.
Yeah. But I would encourage you to listen to this again.
Oh, I will. I listen to your other ones. I absolutely do.
Okay,
I do. Okay.
great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I
Erin.
appreciate everyone's patience. Thank
Oh,
you.
You're fine. Yep. Everybody's right where they are, right? Yeah. Thank you, Aaron. All right, let's see. Did I miss anything in the chat here? Okay, wait. Starting with carnation is special. Oh, listen. Well, Scotty, maybe you better do a newsletter. All right.
Why do I need to do a newsletter?
to help people.
Because I'm so full of information.
Well, just imagine how many people you could help then.
I'm trying to get all the words flowing.
I think you're doing a wonderful job. You're much more articulate than when I first met you.
Well, yeah, I was barely walking when I first met you.
I know. And look at you now. Look at you now. You're driving and everything.
Well, I don't think there's anything that would stop me from driving.
Oh, okay. All right.
But yeah, the carnation's very special.
Mm.
That's why they wear it at funerals.
Thank you for
Because you crush it, it will return to its form always.
That's a good thing.
So that's why the reincarnation.
Oh,
The clues are in every word I can find.
I love it.
Clues are in words, clues are in numbers. There's clues everywhere. Everywhere you go, there's a clue.
It's true.
There's clues in the window. There's clues in the many people. There's clues. It's just clues.
Yeah.
And we're on a blue planet, so it's Blue's Clues. I don't know.
Thank you, Scotty.
You're welcome.
So I'm reading some more here, and Mighty says that I'm sure Karen will help you with the roses, but Red Rose for me is bringing you the message that you have your passion for creating back. You are your genius is getting fired up. How about that? I mean, really? Wow. Oh my goodness. All right. Okay, good. Any last minute sharings before we close for today? You've been wonderful, you guys. It's exciting to see what 2023 is bringing, right? All right, namaste. Have a fabulous day or evening wherever you are in the world. Thank you, everyone.